And thank you for staying up later. Bob Costas is on vacation. My name's Chris Connelly, and our guest tonight is Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert Gottfried was named the Comedian's Comedian by Vanity Fair a few years ago. Not a bad honor, although Charles Manson's name was also mentioned, so you can understand what that meant. And as Iago the Parrot in Walt Disney's Aladdin, he made parents howl with laughter, as well as teaching millions of children to yell, "Ow, that hurt." He's been doing stand-up since the 1970s, served a brief stint with Saturday Night Live, has appeared in such movies as Beverly Hills Cop 2, The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, and a whole bunch of other movies, in some cases without even opening his eyes. We're pleased to welcome him here. Will you please welcome Gilbert Gottfried? There you go.
Stop it. Stop it. My God, what a massive crowd. Boy, what a massive crowd.
Have a seat.
The crowd's massive. I've never seen this many people in my life. This is like...
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's like one of those shows that people go downstairs and they go, "I couldn't get Letterman tickets." This is I think. This is I know. And this is I think I know. David Brenner in a deep philosophical conversation with Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, Jerry, you ever eat pizza? You ever eat pizza? Why do people eat pizza?
So we were just saying you got the perfect hair for this heat,
Yes,
don't you?
it's the perfect hair. Perfect hair. How much more time do we have to kill? Oh, boy. Boy, was this a mistake. I've got the perfect hair. I agree to do this show. I figure everything's going to be easy. So, you got nice hair.
You don't do these sort of straight talk show interviews very much.
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, you do? Huh?
Yeah, I do in-depth interviews.
Is that right? Kind of
Very in-depth.
a Diane
They're
Sawyer?
very in-depth. Did you mention I'm in the house? That's a new hit term. I'm in the house. Hi, Gilbert Gottfried, I'm in the house. It gets a much hipper crowd then.
Well, I'm hoping, like Andrew Dice Clay, you'll weep a little later on.
Yes, I will. I'll start crying later on.
That would
Believe me. I'll cry just when I realize I've done this show. I'm all ready. I'm crying. I'm damn near suicide that I agreed to do this show. I couldn't get on the Whoopi Goldberg show. What can I tell you?
It's tough. You know, you and I are like the last guys in Hollywood who don't do shows regularly. You don't have shows like
I know, but I think I'll take over Carson for about a week or so.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Who knows? It could work.
Hey, you could laugh a little more about that Carson joke. Because, I mean, look, you couldn't get into Letterman, and you're here.
Are people recognizing you more just from your voice
No,
from
you
Aladdin?
see, any other audience, I would be nicer to. But this, like, you know, the audience was like, well, what other show can we get? Well, all right. Ben Costas isn't even there, even. Oh, okay. Well, I'll just have to go with that, then. You don't do America's Home Videos here, do you? No, well...
It has that sort of look, though, right? The stage,
Yes.
like we should be popping out of the window or something like that?
Yes.
Are you getting more...
No, I'm not getting any.
Now you've done Aladdin? No,
I'm not getting any. None at all.
None whatsoever?
What, Aladdin? Yes. Oh, Aladdin, yes. And there's going to be an Aladdin TV series.
Is that right? You going to
Yes.
be involved in that?
Yeah, no, they're going to get Frank Gorshin. No, of course I'm going to be involved with that. I'll be involved with this. It's an Aladdin Saturday morning cartoon. It'll start next year.
And you, again, play Iago the Parrot?
Oh, no, I'll be the princess this time.
It's a stretch for you,
Yeah,
right?
they thought they were holding me back before.
Oh, wait a minute, Jafar. What if you were the chump husband?
What?
Okay, you marry the princess, all right? And you become the sultan.
Marry the shrew. I become the sultan? The idea has merit.
Yes, marriage, yes. And then we drop Papa-in-law and the little woman off a cliff. Yeah!
How much of the stuff you did in that movie was scripted when you went in to record it?
None of it. I totally did in fact, I did the dialogue for all the other characters.
Uh-huh. That explains a lot right
you know,
there.
and then they're going to release it in video, and it's going to have everything that you didn't see in the theater.
Oh, what was that?
Full frontal nudity. It's an incredible thing. It's the director's cut.
You didn't chafe at all.
I didn't shave.
You didn't shave.
No, I didn't shave for it.
You didn't chafe at all under the Disney
didn't chafe
restrictions.
at all?
Yeah, under the Disney restrictions. You know, they like to keep things clean and fun. And...
Yeah. I got in trouble on the Emmys.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right. You did.
The Emmys, I got in trouble. I got in trouble with the Fox network, so I'm too dirty for Fox, but clean enough for Disney.
Now, what did happen with that Emmy thing? Now that you brought up, what was the deal there? It seemed to be going over very well in the House. Why didn't they like it out there?
Okay, it's in the House.
There we go.
It was going over in the House. Hi, we're in the House. What it was I went up to do the Emmys, to present an Emmy, and I said, I really sleep better knowing Pee Wee Herman's been arrested. If masturbation's a crime, I should be on death row. And they thought that was dirty. You know, because basically what they told me, go up there and just have fun. I thought, what's more fun than masturbation? But obviously they didn't feel the same way.
Do you actually think the notoriety from that helped your career? I mean, raised your public profile a little? So
Don't talk about raised in the context.
But, I mean, you probably don't have any regrets about that, right?
No regrets. But then look at me.
I wouldn't have any regrets if I were you either.
Yeah.
Now, you know, whoops, yeah. You know that now when you were going to do Aladdin, you know that you got the role only after a couple of guys passed on it, you know.
Yes. Originally they went to Robert Duvall, interestingly enough, and he didn't want it. Actually, they said, Disney called me and they said, this film's getting too Gentile even by our standards. We got to get a Jew right away.
And they'd asked Danny DeVito and Joe Pesci, and you sort of fit the bill. Huh?
Yes, they had asked it was up between Danny DeVito, Joe Pesci, and me, so basically they were looking for a short, unattractive ethnic type.
Somehow they narrowed it down.
They narrowed it down to me.
How much freedom did they give you when you actually did it? I mean, when...
It was just everything. 4-letter words, everything you could name. Yeah, they just let me play with it. Also a bad expression. They let me, to say they let me play with it, it's not good. Okay.
It's certainly not Disneyland.
Yes, not in Disneyland. Mm-hmm. No, so they let me have pretty much free reign to play around with it, and that's what happened.
You had fun. Yeah, I guess they wound up making the film longer as a result of what you and Robin were doing. They were so excited by the improvisational stuff you were coming up, they actually lengthened the movie.
Robin who?
Oh, I don't even remember. Robin Ventura, baseball player or something. Hard to remember. Do you like... Now, you'd wanted to be in an animated film before, right? Was this the first one you had done? Had you done animated movies before? You did Aladdin?
Yes, I was the original Popeye. Few people know this.
Who knew? I always thought you wanted to be in the Jetsons.
Yes, I do want to be. I did want to be in the Jetsons because I would have had the chance to work with Tiffany. And for so long now, the American public has been screaming for a Gottfried Tiffany project, and it's just never come to be.
The buddy movie we're just not ready for just yet.
What else do you have to ask me?
I got a lot.
I'm in a hurry.
You can order off...
Number one, ask Gilbert about hair.
You can order off the menu if you want. You know, there's some specials I could tell you about.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about some of your other movies.
Wait, I'm reading.
Go right ahead. I know it'll come to you all in time.
That's also not a good term, but okay. All right, it's resorted to that. Yes, it's resorted to that. Everything, it's just going to be masturbation, and that's it. I'll be going back.
Let's talk about a film where that didn't really come up very much, Problem Child.
Yes.
You were in that, right?
Yes, I was in 2 of them.
Now, is it easier to work with kids or with nuns? Because you had a scene with a kid and a nun.
Well, basically, I usually work with nuns. But,
they love your work, I think.
Yes,
yeah.
I worked on Problem Child 1 and 2, and there's going to be a Problem Child cartoon.
Is that
I'm
right?
working on. Because, you know, when you have a story as rich as Problem Child, you know, you can't just tell it all at once. In fact, I think Francis Ford Coppola is going to re-edit the original Problem Child.
Yes, the director's cut will be on Laserdisc really soon. What was the kid like? How was he different working on 1 and 2? Did he change a lot when he did number 2?
Yes, because in the second movie, not only was he obnoxious, but he knew certain camera terms. Because then he could go, can we have a tight double on this? A slow tracking shot and a tight double. Then
It's frightening out of a little child, isn't
Yes.
it? It could be rather upsets you. Was he good to work with, though?
he was good to, he's a consummate professional.
Well,
It was like, I'll tell you, it was like a family. It was a real learning experience. We were all very supportive of one another.
was it a stretch for you?
What other term can I use that hasn't been used to death?
I want to know if you did your own stunts.
Yes, I did all my own stunt work in the film.
That's very
The part
good.
where I stand up from the desk, that was me.
That was you? My heart is pounding faster just thinking about it. Now,
Am I getting you excited?
Well, you can tell. Now, Michael at one point does an imitation of you, right, during some scene. Did you
Yes.
coach him on this, or did you just get it off of you?
He's a young Rich Little. Rich Little was an impressionist. Do you understand that? Do you realize there's no other show you can be watching right now? Do any of you have a job?
Look, maybe what the child is trying to say is that...
Maybe if I shrug my shoulders and move around my hands like this, maybe people will think I know what I'm talking about.
And welcome back to Later. I'm Chris Connelly talking to Gilbert Gottfried. Gilbert, is it true you once were in a TV pilot? That's right.
Where is he looking?
You were in a TV pilot with 3 orangutans?
Yes, that's true. I worked on a TV pilot where I worked with 3 orangutans.
Really?
It's like, it was directed by Barry Levinson, believe it or not. So the one bomb he has, that's where I work with him. So it was a pilot I did with 3 orangutans, and this is true. One of the orangutans got a series off it. It was a series called Mr. Smith, and it was the orangutan from that show. And then later I read for Mr. Smith and didn't get it. I guess the orangutan said, "Oh, I'm not here." Godfrey said, "I'm not here. I'm in a meeting."
So, did you do any other pilots? Did you ever do any other potential series that didn't make it on the air? Several, and they've all bombed miserably. What kinds of things were you cast as in them? What sort of things were you doing in them?
Let me see. Actually, I was supposed to be the original star of the Seinfeld show. But they felt at the last minute they wanted to go with someone with the same name. So, had they not changed their minds, I would be on the show going,
Hey, why do cab drivers talk like that? How come canned tuna fish has tuna in it? Why do people wear shoes? Is it because it makes their feet more comfortable? Hey, who are these people? Why do people comb their hair? Is it because they don't like it sloppy? Hey?
Are you a little relieved that the whole sort of comedy boomlet is over? The days,
Boomlet?
Well, the days when
It's a boomlet?
It was a boomlet.
She's speaking in Yiddish now. It's a boomlet. It's a big boomlet. You know what it is? It's a boomlet. It's like something that Jewish parents would say when their kid's in the room and they don't want them to hear. So I was speaking to Aunt Sylvia. He says that Cousin Boimler, nachen boomlet. Zochen doch boomlet. Jichen zeinten de boomlet. No, a boomlet. Weet dat even, zochen boine boomlet? Wat nou, jachen zich de boomlet? Tell me, dochen vein a boomlet. Weet dat somebody like this, a young man, and a boomlet? Such a nice person, speak to him all the time, a boomlet. To tell me that a person like this, a boomlet, I don't believe.
I always remember what the most Yiddish-sounding, non-Yiddish quality was. Boyish appeal.
Boyish appeal. He's got a boyish appeal, a boomlet. He's got a boyish appeal, a boomlet. The new one that sounds Yiddish to me is Jurassic Park. It's like he's got a Jurassic Park. You know what he's got? Boyish boomlet and Jurassic Park.
Would you like to do a series like Seinfeld if somebody said, here, take a half hour and do whatever you want? Would you do something like that, or you just want to do movies now?
Yeah.
Would you undergo the rigor?
Well, I'm doing a movie in Europe right now. That's usually what people say when their careers are over. I'm doing a film in Europe. And believe me, they love me there. Also, when they can't get movie work and they go to the theater and they go, well, that was always my first love.
The theater was your first
Yes,
love, right?
yes. I left it for a while, but now it's still my first love.
And I want to get back to my roots. We hear a lot of that.
Yes, I want to get back to my roots. Meanwhile, if a producer called them and said, look, it's tasteful nudity and it's below scale, they go, okay, I'll take it.
Have you ever done nudity?
Yes.
In
yes.
what?
People are screaming for me to do nudity.
When did you have occasion to do it?
Constant. In Aladdin, the parrot didn't wear any pants.
Who knew? You wouldn't...
That would be the most frightening concept. A movie where I do a nude scene.
There'd be a high want to see on that, you think?
Yeah,
huh?
a high wanna see.
All the way.
A high wanna see.
A high want to see.
Now it's turning to Indian. I wanna see.
Would you like to write your own film?
Why do Indians say, I want to see?
Have you tried to write screenplays of your own to appear in? Has that been an interest of yours?
Yes, Fatal Attraction was mine. They stole the idea.
Which role were you going to play?
I was going to be the Glenn Close part. And at the last minute, they figured they'd go with a woman. It's going to be me and Michael Douglas. Same thing with the Sharon Stone part.
Is that right? In Basic Instinct?
I was her body double in Basic Instinct. And believe me, it embarrassed me in gym class to no end.
Are you going to go back for the sequel? If there's a Basic Instinct sequel, will you appear in that too?
Yes, I will be in that. But only if they can trick me into taking my underwear off. That's what she said. She said she had no idea they were filming her there.
That's right. That's true.
I don't know how that's possible. Someone pointed a camera between my legs. I think I'd be, after a while, going, excuse me, what's he doing? All of a sudden, they were focusing on my crotch. I'd go, can I talk to someone, please?
Is there anything you haven't gotten to do in the movies that you would like to do?
Here, going for a close-up now. Okay. Thanks. Yes.
You're very good. You could have done that, huh?
She's like one of those animated figures in, like, the House of Presidents. She could be at Disneyland like that. I am Abraham Lincoln.
Stand up, will you still do a fair amount of that, or do you?
I'll do a fair amount. But then the audience will throw something at me, and then I have to stop.
Is it still enjoyable, though? Because a lot of people
You know, to think, all this time I could have had Julia Roberts. All this time I never made a pass at her or anything. Because I figured I'd see Julia Roberts. I figured, oh, I can't come on to her. She's waiting for some really incredibly good-looking guy. Boy, was I an idiot. It's like, I'm sure Lyle Lovett's a nice guy, but he looks like Dr. Frankenstein's first creation, the one he doesn't talk about. Like, he proudly shows off the monster with the bolts in the neck. Then they say, we saw a guy with this weird frizzy hair outside. Is he one of... No, I don't know. I never saw him. I think some other mad doctor invented him, not me.
You never met Julia, huh?
Never met her.
See, it could have happened.
Yeah, it could have happened. I guess it was either between Lyle Lovett or the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Now, he's a very cool guy.
He seems like a nice guy.
But you're happy. Have you ever tried to go out with any actresses of note?
Believe me, I'd be happy if it's just moving. It doesn't have to be an actress. It doesn't have to be alive. Anything at this point.
What are your ambitions left to have in the...
Well, I plan on gaining about 40 pounds, becoming an alcoholic, and doing episodes of Murder, She Wrote. Where I show up and people go, wait, no, that's not him. Oh, God, does he look awful. Ooh, look at him. You know, I thought he looked familiar. Ooh, gee. Ooh, I was looking at Boomlet. Yeah.
Will you ever retire? Will you ever sort of hang it all up and go off and, you know, plant trees somewhere on a farm?
No, that would make the American public too happy.
You don't just feel like something you want to do, huh?
No.
This is the year.
Yes.
So are there any ambitions left for you, though? Is there any boundaries yet to cross?
If I was on stage and I drank water now, I'd get a round of applause. See, this is the thing, what people do. Performers do this on stage. They talk for a while, and then they stop and go like this, and everyone starts applauding.
Well, let's go. Go ahead. Go
okay.
ahead. Yeah, come on.
No, you're supposed to wait until after I drink the water. Let's do this again.
All right, let's go. Here we are.
I can't believe this. It's not that hard. Here, now, I'll be like talking, and you know, my wife's so fat when she sits around the house, and boy, I don't want to say her cooking is bad, but how can you burn Jell-O?
Very nicely done.
Thank you.
All right, well, thanks a lot for being here. We really appreciate it. Gilbert Gottfried, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you all for watching. Tomorrow night, we'll be talking to Beatles producer George Martin, so be sure to catch us. Until then, we'll see you later.